Hello, this is Mesh from Downtime Distraction with a first look review of 10 Second Ninja X. So we define our first look review in a different category than a full review by a few caveats. Please check the description below for a full detailed list on those. Also, being open and honest, I received the review copy of this game for free. So what is this game? Well, 10 Second Ninja X, or is it 10 Second Ninja Roman numeral 10? Anyway, it's a 2D side-scroller. It's the sequel to 10 Second Ninja, funny enough. So the basic concept is kill all the enemies on the level in under 10 seconds. The faster you go, the better your star rating. The more stars you get, the more levels you unlock. Something of note here as well, this game has a demo available, so if you're still unsure about what to do about this title at the end of the video, you can always download that, it will definitely help you out. So this title is coming to Steam on the 19th of July. The release price will be $9.99 US or your regional equivalent. It has controller support. I suggest you use the controller as it's far superior in this game over the keyboard and mouse. This has been developed by 4 Circle Interactive and published by Curve Digital. As I previously mentioned, this is the sequel to 10 Second Ninja. So the original game received an overwhelming positive response from the Steam community, but of course that game did have its flaws. So here's a list of the most common issues raised by the Steam community. The most common flaw was it's too short. Another one was intermittent controls around character movement, and another one which was quite common was it's too repetitive. But I'll address that one here. Of course these games are repetitive, that's basically the point. You'll be repeating the same level countless times to get the best score. I'll address the other issues towards the summary of the game as well. Okay, let's talk about the story and then the game mechanics. So the story is you've been captured by Captain Greatbeard, and he has trapped your friends and he wants to test your skills. So he's made a bunch of levels to challenge you. Very simple concept, but you have a few cute characters to help the story along. So the gameplay, very simple premise with the combat. You have to destroy all the enemies on the level in under 10 seconds. The faster you do that, the better your score and the more stars you get. The more stars you get, the more areas you unlock. So you've got a sword and a shuriken. You've actually got 3 shurikens. It's very quick and very repetitive. So we've got 100 levels and 40 of them are repurposed from the original game. It also has a few collectible items around there's a lobby and a few other rooms you go to when the story is happening. So there's a few little side stories as well. There's also a game within the game if you collect all the collectibles. And one of the side stories gives you an ability to get a few coins. So those coins can be used to access, a hint area. I think these hints are a little bit too powerful, but I'll get into that a bit later. But it doesn't mean you have to use them. And the hints aren't full answers to the best way to do it, they just give you a start point. But I'd almost like to see them, not as easily accessible. And there's also a marathon mode as well, snuck in there. I've sunk 4 hours into this title. I've completed the story, but I want to say I didn't scratch really the level of completionist that a lot of people want to do. And also I want to say there's 2 ways to play this game. On one side you could do what I've done, is just kind of scrape through all the zones, getting the bare minimum amount of stars to actually finish the story and unlock all the zones, or you could try and get the top score for each level, and that will be quite a feat. I mean, every now and again I did it, I got 3 stars, but there's a lot of levels in there that are very difficult. But anyway, let's jump in and have a quick look at the options menu. Here we are in the options menu. So top here we have sound effects volume control and music volume control. So 2 separate options for those, which is very good. Below that we have full screen, resolution and brightness. That's it for audio and graphics. And that's probably acceptable. I mean, it makes it very functional in here. The visual style of the game means there's not a lot more required. Obviously it's always appreciated if there's more, but that is very functional in this game, so that's acceptable. A couple of languages here. We can rebind the keyboard, reset the keyboard, controller enabled, of course, because I think that's the best way to do it with this game. A few different button controller options. So we've got Xbox One, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 4. Different ports for the controllers, vibration on the controller, and credits, and exit the game, and also delete save, which is good to see that in here, because sometimes you might just want to wipe it out and start again. So, you know, pretty acceptable. Some good things in here, and definitely the required amount for the controller, because that's really, you know, the controller is so crucial for the gameplay in this game. And moving on to a bit of a summary here. So let's start with graphics. So graphically, very functional. I'm not trying to be pejorative here, but to me this looks like a mobile game. Visually, type of thing I would see on someone's mobile device. That's not a negative thing, it's just a, you know, the design to me looks like that. So, but the characters and the animations are all okay, and it's definitely a visual improvement on the original, so that's positive. But in saying that, the simplistic style really does help the game for the mechanics, because that helps how fast you have to move, and it doesn't confuse anything. But still, I'm going to say, yeah, visually, very basic. And onto audio. So, the music track, I think it fitted really nicely. Because at some points, I didn't notice it, but at some points, it really helped spur me on trying to get a really fast time for the level. That to me says it's a great choice in music. And the rest of the audio is okay. One thing I will say is there is no voice narration when the story is being told to you. It's just you have to read it, and they make some weird noises, and I didn't mind that. I mean, it was definitely an artistic choice, and I can appreciate that. So on to gameplay. So the gameplay is done very well with this game. I think this will be enjoyed by a certain niche that love the hardcore speedrunning side-scrollers. Previously I mentioned the older game and the complaints that we had with there. So let's address some of those here. So one that has definitely been addressed was the amount of content in the previous title was very short. This one has greatly increased on that amount. So that I'm ticking that box off. Now the other area of complaint was the controls. Now initially they seemed for me a bit floaty and random. So I was kind of agreeing with the previous comments about that controller. But as time has gone on, I know they've updated it a few times, but maybe also my reaction has changed. Maybe I've learned to control the ninja better. So it could be a combination of patching and also getting to know the character better. But for me now, the controls do exactly what I want. So I'm also saying I'm ticking that one off as well. And as well, this game has a very high replayability, so it's going to be a lot of fun for the completionists. I do have a few negative points, not massive negative points, but it's just something to take note of. I felt the difficulty didn't really progress in a logical manner. It felt that every now and again you get a few really difficult levels, followed by very easy. You'd normally expect it to go easy, medium, then difficult. But it didn't really seem to do that. It's not such a massive point, just something to bear in mind. But that might have come down to the whole hint system. And that's obviously another thing I wanted to bring up. The hints seem to be a bit too powerful. So maybe if you tone down the amount of hints you can use, it will help on that difficulty towards the end of the game. So overall, I really enjoyed my time with 10 Second Ninja X. The concept and delivery are very good. I think it will really appeal to that niche of speedrunners, and if you're a fan of the original, this is a must pick up. But on the other hand, this may not be for everybody. At times, it can be very frustrating. When trying to get that top score, it can become very repetitive, but also in the same breath, very satisfying when you pull off that amazing time. Also, just another thing, visually lacking, as I've mentioned, but that doesn't detract away from the gameplay, of course. So if you're still unsure after all of that, check out the demo. I'll link that below, so please check it out if you want to. So I'll sign off here. So this has been a first look review of 10 Second Ninja X. I've enjoyed the game and making this review. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Please subscribe as it helps out the channel. Comment and like and share. So this is Mesh saying cheerio until next time.